Hi everyone. Today I'm working in a traveler's notebook. This is my 2018 monthly traveler's notebook where I am picking out one special thing from each month and doing a spread about it. There's January, February, March, and I'm only on April so far. This is where I'm kind of documenting things that are more important to me specifically as opposed to the entire family. So this month for April, I have a picture of my passport. I finally got a passport after years and years and years of saying I was going to. I finally got one, so I thought that was worth documenting here. So I'm going to do a page about that. I've picked out some things from some past Citrus Twist kits. I have a 6x8 paper, I think this is actually a scrap of a 6x8 paper, not a 4x6 card, and then a 3x4 card, and a 6x6 paper that came in one of the kits that's kind of travel themed. And then I also pulled a few map papers from my stash. I'm not sure if I'll use these. I really would like to include some kind of map paper. These were the two that I had that I thought worked the best, although neither one is a perfect match, so we'll see how that goes. I also pulled out a couple of stamps. I have this one from Citrus Twist, which is kind of travel themed in part, and then also this one from Life Love Paper for Studio Calico, and it's an older one, but you can see I don't think I've ever used it, so it does have some travel things on here, so I thought I might try and use that. I also have a few puffy stickers from this sheet from Citrus Twist, and then some, these are glitter foam hearts and stars that I thought would work well since they are gold and there's some gold in the passport cover. I thought I'd pull in some gold. So that's what I've got pulled out. It doesn't seem like enough to me yet, but we shall see. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to start by trimming down this blue stripe paper. I'm pretty sure I want to put it on the left-hand side of my spread, so I'm going to just trim it down using my very scientific fingernail method. And I can already tell that it's going to need something on the other side of the spread to balance it out, so I just put the scrap of that paper over there just for now, just to see if that will work. I'm not making any decisions yet, but I do want to use this matte paper to back my photo. So I just made a really small mat for my photo because with all of that white on the other papers, the photo was just getting lost. So it needed something to separate it from the layers that I have behind it. So I matted that with the kind of more muted matte paper. And then I just trimmed down the other two bits that I wanted to use behind the photo. And now I'm going to trim out a bunch of these little kind of travel stamps that are on this 6x6 paper. I'm not going to make you watch all of this, so I trim out quite a few, and basically I'm just looking for the ones that are outside of the United States. Since this is a passport picture, I don't need a passport to travel in the United States, so I was looking for the ones that were international for me. And I just fussy cut all of them out, and I am going to arrange them down the side of this striped paper. And I just pulled it off the notebook so I didn't have to deal with the bulk underneath it while I was trying to get everything perfect. And I'm going to use a couple punches and punch out some more of this muted matte paper to mix in. These little travel stamps are very colorful, and I felt like it just needed something a bit more neutral, so it didn't look quite so busy. So I have a hex punch and a 1-inch circle punch, and I'm just punching out some random bits of that matte paper to intersperse throughout the little travel stamps and make it not look so busy. So I obviously needed more of them, so I went back and fussy cut some more. Again, didn't make you watch that part. And I put it back up on the notebook so I could see whether I thought it would actually work, and I do like it. It's clear that the other side is going to need some color, which is why I moved that matte paper over there for a split second. But I'm going to deal with that after I get all of this laid out the way I want it. So just kind of arranging and fussing with it quite a bit, trying to get it exactly right. But eventually I'm just going to start gluing things down and figure it out as I go. It's basically going to stay like this. It's pretty close. Things move around a little bit, of course, as I glue. But starting from the top, I'm going to glue everything down with my tape runner. And this is an American Craft Sticky Thumb tape runner. It's not my favorite tape runner, but it works, and it was very inexpensive. I have a haul video actually coming up soon, so you'll get to see that. I got it for a very good price, so and I was completely out of tape runner, so that's what I'm going to use for a little while at least. So I'm just kind of arranging these down the page. I want them to just kind of feel like they are cascading down the page, like they've just been kind of tossed there. And so none of them are perfectly straight. Some of them are tucked under other ones. And of course that matte paper is mixed in there just in the background to kind of give your eye some place to rest as you work down this page. It's very busy with the stripes and all the colors and all the designs of the different countries on these little stamps. So that matte paper kind of just gives your eyes a break. Okay, so I finally get them all glued down, and like I said, it clearly needs more color on this other side of the page. So I'm going to trim off just a little strip of this other matte paper. And I don't remember where either of those matte papers are from. I take all of my 6x6 papers out of their original packaging, so I'm not sure where either of those come from. But I can pretty much guarantee that they're quite old, because none of the 6x6 papers in my stash are very new, or very few of them are. So in addition to that matte paper, I'm going to add just a few more of these little stamps, and including some that were kind of cut off the page, that were on the edge of the page, because I'll just tuck them in the layers behind my photo. So that's going to add some more color to this side, or this half of the spread. And then I decide, why not use this little strip at the top of the 6x6 paper as well, the one that has the hole in it. So I just cut around the hole, and I'm going to add that to my layers too, and then that brings more of that green. There's quite a bit of the green on the other side of the page, so that adds more of the green on this side, and I really like the way that that's looking. So I'm just going to fuss around a little bit more with the different layers and eventually get things where I like them, and I'm going to start gluing them down eventually. Now first I'm going to pick up stamps. So I know that I want to use this little label that's on this Citrus Twist stamp, the one in the top left corner, and then I'm going to add the G Going stamp into one of the little boxes. So I'm going to stamp it on this kind of neutral matte paper. I thought about using white, but I think white, there's already so much white on that side of the spread that I think it would just be too much. So I'm going to try it on this matte paper and see how I like it. I haven't used this stamp before, so I was just using my eraser to kind of prime the stamp, and then did a test stamp on the paper, on the scrap paper next to it, just to make sure that it was stamping correctly, that it was would not require more than one stamp, because I don't have a lot of this paper left. So I wanted to make sure and test it first. I'm just going to cut this out, and I'm thinking of putting it in the top left corner of my photo. But when I set it there, it's just too big. It's too much. So I decided to fold it over and use it kind of like a tab at the top of my photo. And I really like the way that that looks. So I'm going to keep that there. But first I'm going to start gluing things down. So I still hadn't glued this side of the spread down, so I'm going to add it to that side of my notebook. And then start gluing all these little bits that I have around the right side of the spread down. And I kind of start from the top, since I really like where the layers are. I don't want to lose them. I don't want to forget where they go. So I'm going to start from the top down, so I don't get things all out of order. So I just added a little bit of glue to that tab that I made from the stamp, and then I used my gold staples and my gold stapler to staple it to the layers. Just secure it a bit more and add a little bit of gold and some interest. Then I'm just going to finish gluing all these layers together, and then I'll glue the whole thing down to the right edge of my notebook. And you can see I've moved it up just a little bit, because I realized I needed some place for my journaling, and I thought below all of these layers would be a good spot for that. So I've moved it up just a bit. I'm going to add it to the page, and then I'm going to go back to my stamp and see what else I can add. So there is this little phrase that says, "Oh, for sure," I think, and I'm just looking for the right place to put it. And And then I realized, so I tried it down in the bottom and I realized that this travel note stamp from the other stamp set would be a perfect fit for that little corner, and then my journaling can just go right below it. So I reached over and grabbed that and got that into place before I forgot what I was doing, and then added that Oh For Sure stamp on the top left of my page. And I'm going to do a bit more stamping, just looking at the different stamps to figure out what I want. I'm going to add this geotag stamp in 3 places. I like that it's a bit more black, so kind of balances things, because the passport in my photo looks really dark at this point. And then I'm going to pull out those foam hearts and stars, and I'm going to end up just using the stars. I'm going to spread them out across both pages of the spread, just to add a little bit of bling, a little bit of gold, and that'll tie in those staples, and like I said, the gold in my passport as well, and it just adds a little bit of sparkle to the whole page. And then I think I am just about ready to add my journaling, so I'm going to grab a pen and, oh no, first I'm going to do some sprinkles of Heidi Swapp Color Shine in gold, and my color shine is almost gone. Actually, my cat spilled it, and I was so angry. I mean, I know she's just a cat, she doesn't know any better. But I can't get any more, of course, and it was a full bottle, so it's down to like just a tiny little bit in the bottom, and I don't know what I'm gonna do because I can't replace it. So if you have any suggestions about other things to use, I am all ears. I am open to anything that is similar, will give a similar effect to Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Gold, because yeah, it's not gonna last very long. There's just a tiny bit left, and there's a big stain on my floor, but oh well. So that's it. That is the spread. I think pretty much all done. I'm gonna show you some close-up photos in just a minute. Oh, I just need to add the date, of course, and then there'll be some close-up photos here in a second. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It means a lot to me to know that you got something out of this. And if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do so you get notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching.